Okay, so here is what we've got for number 1. P equals 5 over 2 SA. Okay, I want to know what is the formula in terms of S. So I need to get the S alone. Okay? So that means I need to remove the 5 over 2 and the A. Okay? It is multiplied to 5 over 2. Okay? That's a great question. Okay, there we go. That's better. Thank you for pointing that out. So it should be written like that. So I apologize. It did look like that. So I've got to divide away, because this is all multiplication. 5 over 2 times S times A. I've got to divide away the 5 over 2 and divide away the A. Divide by 5 over 2. And divide by the A. I can do those at the same time since they're both multiplication. Okay? So, they cancel here, and they cancel here, and I have to do the same thing over here. Divide by 5 over 2 and divide by A. My S is now alone. A stays in the denominator, but 5 over 2 does not. And if you don't know how to do that on your calculator, second mode to get out of that, okay, this is a 1, so I want to do 1 divided by my fraction, which is 5 over 2. And what do you get for your answer? 2 over 5. So 2p over 5a equals S. You do not leave a fraction in the denominator. And if you don't know how to do that, you just put a 1 there, and 1 divided by 5 over 2. The 2 goes in the numerator, 5 goes in the denominator, and that's my answer. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to look at, select all the tables in which the y value changes at a constant rate per x. So I want you to look at those and tell me, how am I going to determine that? Well, changing at a constant rate, which means the same rate, yes? Second term minus the first term tells you how it's changing. So, what is 0 minus 0.5? Or, is this going up by 0.5 every time? So, you can do it that way also if you can see that. Okay? So, either way, but this is the one where you're doing second term minus the first term gives me the common difference. Okay? So, your note for number 2 is second term minus the first term equals my little d. And remember, little d is the common difference. Okay? So the first one has a common difference. I agree. So A would be one of my answers. I know they're not listed that way, but that's how we're going to do it. Okay, look at this second table. Is this one, is the Y value changing at a constant rate? No. Look at C. Is this one changing by a constant rate? Plus 2? No. That's geometric, right? When you multiply, okay. Is this one changing by a constant rate? Definitely not. That would be, that right? Definitely not. Because 1 minus 3 is negative 2, and negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5, and negative 5 minus 3 is net. Is that a constant rate? I believe it is. So, yes for D. What about this one? No, that one's just no. So, if all of these are changing by a constant rate, this one is too. So that's why you're going to do negative 2 minus 1, negative 2 minus 1, excuse you, negative 2 minus 1. Sorry, I kept pushing minus. No, is negative 3. That's how you check it. So they all should be going up by negative 3. Okay. So that's just a reminder of how you do those. Okay. Check out number 3. A function h of x is used to represent the number of items sold at a drugstore during these business hours. The table shows some of the values of the function. The average rate of change, h of x, over the interval 1 to 4 is 11. What would go here? Work that out right now. Okay? So for number 3, I forgot to drop the other thing. A and B. Okay. Stay off track. Alright, so for number 3, average rate of change, as a reminder, is slope. And slope is the change in y over the change in x. Okay. The interval between 1 and 4 is 11. So, slope is y sub 2 minus 7 over 4 minus 1. Okay? Equals 11. Okay? Interval 1 to 4. I need to find this, and it's minus 7. Okay? So now I'm just gonna solve this. Y sub 2 minus 7 over 3. Okay? Multiply, oops, equals 11. Multiply the 3 away. Y sub 2 minus 7 equals 33. I'm looking for the blank spot. Okay? Then add 7 over here, that's 0. Y sub 2 equals 40. Okay, now I'm going to show you a visual that's going to help you see where I got this. Okay, this is my interval. Here it is. My interval is, this is my y sub 1, it's asking, this is my y sub 2. These are my intervals, right? So I got to match this up. Okay, so I've got y sub 2 minus y sub 1. I'm sorry, x's. X sub 2 minus x sub 1. What matches up with that? I don't know, so I just put y sub 2 there to find it, minus 7. Okay? Y is on top, x is on the bottom. It asked for these two, so I have to use the corresponding y's. So, when I do that, that's why this y sub 2 is here and here. X sub 2 minus x sub 1, y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and we get 40. Okay? What it asks for, it tells me these are my intervals for x. You have to use the corresponding y's. Okay? Questions about that? Does that help? Seeing the visual part of that? Okay. Turn to the next page, or scroll to the next page, and let's talk just a moment about solving for variables. And we're going to work number 1. So here we go. Number 1 is area equals 1/2 base times height. And this is one we have worked several times, but we need to look at it again. And it says solve for h. So I need to get h alone. Okay? So this is all multiplication. So I'm going to use division to get rid of the other 2. Divide by 1/2 b. Divide by 1/2 b. These are going to go away on this side. And what's going to happen with this 1/2? It's going to become 2 over 1b, and the 1 we don't need. Okay? You're just going to flip that fraction. The 2 is going to go on top, the 1's going to stay on the bottom that we don't need to write. Okay? Just a quick way to do that. Okay? We're going to look at number 3. P equals 2W plus 2L. And this time, we're solving for the L. Okay? This is multiplication, this is addition, so get rid of it first. Minus 2W makes that a 0. P minus 2W equals 2L. You can't really solve that, so you're just going to write what you've got. Then divide by 2. L equals P minus 2W over 2. Okay, just practicing those. The rest of that packet is about practicing that rate of change, which we have already done. Okay? So that'll be a good review for you to work on those.